Welcome to another episode of Fantasy Rebel Fights. Today we're gonna talk real quick about how would a fight look between Jeron Boots Ennis and Virgil Ortiz Jr. So as I stated in my Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia video, Jeron Ennis and Virgil Ortiz are part of this new generation, the new crop of boxers coming up. But they're in the welterweight 147 division. All the rest of them, like Shakur Stevenson, Javante Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Chris Colbert, all of them are 130, 135. So we going up to 147. It's a whole nother animal. So we got Jeron Ennis that we just watched fight Chris Van Heerden, and that fight took place this past Saturday, and then it was the IBO title, which isn't a really known title, but it's still a title, man. You know, it's good. It's important, especially to a lot of these up and coming fighters. It's still a championship belt, and Boots was eager to get to that fight, man, to win that fight, and it ended in a no contest because you can't really blame any. You could probably blame both of them for that, especially Boots, because he has the tendency to lunge in, and sometimes he's overly aggressive, and he caused himself to headbutt Chris Van Heerden, and Chris Van Heerden's head split wide open and caused a stoppage, and he was pissed. And I'm not gonna really talk too much about that. I'll probably touch on that because I have a video I was gonna make. I was late on making it, so stay tuned for the Jeron Ennis versus Chris Van Heerden post fight thoughts. Anyway, back to Jeron Ennis. He has a high KO percentage, no losses. Philly native, good power, strong, very good power. Good footwork, good defense. He's just certain things. Sometimes he gets a little overly aggressive. Sometimes he'll wing some punches, but for the most part, he has great defense. Good toolbox, Jeron Ennis. And then you got Virgil Ortiz. And a lot of people call him where is he from? Is he from Mexico? Was he one of the countries? Salvador? Well, I'm just going to say Hispanic. They call him the Hispanic version of Errol Spence. A lot of people, I've seen that. Plus, they both from Texas. They both trained in the same gym. So, Virgil is a dog. Definitely has power. Don't really have the footwork like Jeron in this, but he has the power. His defense is not as good as Jeron's. It's not bad, but it's not as good as Jeron's. What I like about Virgil Ortiz is he knows how to use his distance. He's accurate. He knows how to measure his punches. He's the goods too. Both of them are the goods. So how would a fight look between Jeron Ennis and Virgil Ortiz Jr.? Because a lot of people are saying that they want these two dudes to fight. You know what I think? It's looking like these two dudes, like, people are going to build them up the way people are building up the Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford rivalry. And I think it's going to end up being like that with Jeron Ennis and Virgil Ortiz. Let's just hope that these guys' heads don't get too swole. Their promoters don't get greedy or, pig-headed, and don't let that fight materialize, man. That'll be messed up, but I see a fight going like this between them, man. Jeron Ennis, he's a fast starter. He's a fast starter. Virgil is also a fast starter as well. This fight is going to be you're going to see some trading, but you're going to see Jeron moving around much more because he's more technical. He's a technical power puncher. Virgil Ortiz is more of a come at you stationary target. Jeron Ennis can put pressure on you as well too. That's why I think this is going to be a good fight because both of them are pressure fighters. And I think a fight like that would look somewhat the way Errol Spence and Sean Porter looked when it came to like the inside phone booth fighting. You're gonna see a lot of that in this fight if they ever fight. The problem is though with Virgil Ortiz, sometimes he gets more even overly more aggressive than Jeron Ennis. But the beauty to Virgil Ortiz, when he gets overly aggressive, man, he's just on point with his shit, his angles. But Jeron Ennis has angles. So the way I see this fight going is, I think that fight gonna end in a knockout. Somebody's gonna get knocked out in that fight, definitely. And what I see happening is because Jeron Ennis is much more technical than Virgil Ortiz. He's a little bit more. He's aggressive at times, but he has like a patient aggressiveness most of the time. Sometimes he gets a little overly aggressive and it causes stuff like headbutts. He misses some shots, but not a lot. Most of the time he's accurate. How to put this? Accurately aggressive or patiently aggressive, where it's calculated aggression. Virgil Ortiz, I've seen him slip up a few times when he was fighting Vargas. I said, man, he get hit with that. While somebody with power, man, he might go down. We haven't really seen Virgil Ortiz chin tested as well. We haven't seen Jeron in his chin really tested as well. But what I see happening in this fight is Virgil Ortiz is gonna try to put pressure on Jeron Ennis, and he's gonna end up getting clipped by something big. And I think Jeron Ennis is gonna end up knocking out Virgil Ortiz in that fight. And I give because they both heavy hitters. So, but I still got to give the knockout to Jeron Ennis because he's going to run into something that he's not going to see from Jeron, and I think he's going to knock him out. And I give that to the 5th round. So I have Jeron Boots Ennis winning a fight against Virgil Ortiz Jr. by a 5th round KO. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe. Get back to me later. Peace out.